So just to wrap up, Russ, our recommendations of the week. These things are garnering outrageous views. So I got to give the people what they want. So now we're back with some more picks of the week.
Do you want to let the viewers and listeners know what our theme is?
So we have a theme this week, mystery.
Mystery.
And what we'd like to do is when we do our picks of the week is share the theme and share what we picked. And then maybe you let us know below what your favorite maybe mystery movie or whatever category that we're going in. Let us know what some of your favorites are, and maybe it's something that we've seen or haven't seen we can check out as well. You going first?
I am. I decided to go with, you might say I'm cheating. Everyone considers this one of the greatest mystery films of all time.
Tell us what it is.
So that is 1982/1983's Pieces.
Bastard! Bastard! Bastard!
Wow. Did you say classic? I wasn't sure. Did you mention that?
Do you have to say classic? I'm pretty sure everyone knows that.
I don't know
when you hear Pieces.
I don't know that I've ever actually seen that release in person. You've played this movie for me, but that looks like a nice release.
This is the release I brought over. I
like it.
I didn't bring over the slipcase when you saw it.
That's nice.
We're collectors. I'm not trying to damage these slips, and honestly, this one has already been damaged a little bit. Yeah, go ahead and take a look at it.
Oh, thanks, Russ.
For the uninitiated, well, first off,
It's nice, dude. That the chainsaw's like poking out on the box.
Lenticular.
It's like it's embossed.
I figured you'd like that.
Today, the day we are filming, this is the 40th anniversary of Pieces' North American release. For the uninitiated, you open with a boy and his mother. The boy's putting together a jigsaw puzzle, murders his mother. Then he hides in the closet. Police arrive, all that. They don't believe he did it. They think he's a victim as well. Cut to 40 years later, we're at a college, and some grisly murders are occurring, and we need to get to the bottom of who is doing this. And what we know is that this killer, he's taking body parts, hacking them up in a puzzle-like fashion to create a woman. Mysterious.
Very mysterious. What woman is he building?
I'm not going to spoil it.
Oh, that's a spoiler. Okay, I didn't know where the line
No,
was
let's
drawn.
spoil it. All right, well, the last scene of the movie, this woman he's putting together grabs the main character's genitals and he screams and the credits roll. Your move, Spielberg.
I love that.
It's definitely a slasher film, but it has giallo elements to it. One of the writers was not American, he's European, and I think that's where it comes in. But what's so interesting, I think what makes this movie so special and work is that it kind of fails as a giallo and as a slasher.
Well, thanks very much.
And it just becomes a comedy. And goddamn, is it funny. I mean,
I laughed at it.
The karate instructor,
No.
when he's walking out, he gets attacked with, and they literally, the producers just knew a Bruce Lee impersonator.
Oh, I am out jogging, and next thing I know, I am on ground. Something I eat. Bad chop suey. So long.
Take it easy.
One of the best readings of any dialogue that has ever existed in any film ever is Linda Day George when she is just frustrated and she has to let everyone know that they are bastards. Bastards!
Bastard!
Quality acting.
I'll give you another little...
Give me another one.
Do you recall the scene when the girl runs into the locker room and she pisses herself? Do you remember this scene?
I remember that scene.
Pivotal point in the movie.
Pisses herself.
That's real urine. That wasn't scripted or anything. That actress actually just pissed herself because they scared her off film and they kept it
Wow.
in. That's the kind of artistry we're working with here.
That's definitely some artistry. They're dealing with urine.
All right, but me mocking the film aside, I genuinely enjoy the hell out of this movie.
Yeah, tell the people why you like it.
It's hilarious. It is hilarious. I love slashers. I wouldn't say I love giallos, but I'm a bigger fan than most people. And like I said, it's elements of those both. It is absurd. It is laugh out loud funny. Not like it's so bad you're going to chuckle. I mean, they're like punchlines. It's like it is a full-blown comedy. The main grizzled detective dude, his voice, everything. This is just magic.
Okay, thanks. Thank you very much.
Right down to the ending I spoiled. I could spoil that ending. Tell you, yeah, inexplicably, a person made up of pieces comes to life for no reason. This isn't explained. and grabs the main character's dick. He screams, the credits roll. That's not a spoiler. That is an advertisement. I am watching that movie immediately.
I'm assuming that this movie, outside of your
You're
love for
assuming
it,
you've seen it.
has some genuine love, underground cult love.
It's a cult classic.
I mean, look at this release. This thing, I love
Comes
it.
with the soundtrack. Of course, it's tasteless, but I mean, who is going to watch this movie and seriously either be scared, impacted horrifically, or what I guess the Video Nasty censorship board would suggest, motivated to recreate this movie? I don't know.
Well, 40th anniversary, I actually saw, Arrow had posted that about its 40th anniversary, and I asked them straight up, where's the 4K at? I haven't heard back, but I'm sure they're thinking about it. I saw this movie, Russ. You showed this to me. And I mean, I probably picked up on this faster than I picked up on other ones that you've shown where it's like, hey, just watch this movie, just like take it for what it is. And I'm like, is this serious? Like, what am I looking at? So I feel like if I went into it like ready to laugh, I probably would have enjoyed it more.
I think that's the difference and why I have such an affinity for films like this. It's like you got to go in, you know what you're going to get. And it's more about the execution and the personality.
As soon as I started watching it, I realized, but it was just one of those things I wasn't prepared for. And I mean, I do think it's funny. 83 minutes.
Why? Does it bother you?
That's a theme in my recommendations. Dude, you can knock my recommendations out during a lunch break.
The older we get, it's like, where's that movie that's like 74 minutes long? I'm just watching short films from now on.
In hindsight, do you find it enjoyable?
It was, and it was fun. And I liked the low budget nature of it, like when all the gore's happening,
it's got
and like
the soft focus look that a lot of
the chainsawing that's going on, people like blood spraying places. It's obviously silly. But yeah, it works. It does work, and they're actually genuine laugh out loud moments that I definitely laughed out loud at.
But actually, for a slasher film, there's worse.
Thank you.
Anyway, what do you have, Matt?
So you're recommending this to the fans, Russ? Are you recommending this to anyone that wants to laugh at
I would recommend Pieces to anyone.
I assure you, you have nothing to worry about.
What mystery movie could top Pieces, Matt? I'm excited to hear what you have, because let's face it, Pieces won.
Pieces won this round. The mystery movie that I went with this week, Russ, is a movie that is also near and dear to my heart, not for those same reasons, but for similar reasons. And it's a movie called Secret in Their Eyes. This movie right here is a great mystery. It was released in 2009, and the only reason that I know about it is because it won like Oscar for Best Foreign Film in 2009, I believe it was.
The winner is The Secret in Their Eyes.
But I found out about that on, let's see who remembers this out there, a website called DVD Talk. Do you guys remember DVD Talk? Did you go on DVD Talk?
No, but no.
And it did movie reviews, Blu-ray reviews, and there was a lot of columns, different like contributors, people that were writing, like the sci-fi column, the horror column. It was no frills, but I went there for news all the time.
Basically, what they're doing now is what we'll be doing in 10 years.
Yes, failing. This is about a retired. This is an Argentinian film, first of all, so this is foreign. But he's retired. A retired police officer is writing basically his memoirs or a book, kind of like a story. It might be a little bit fictional, about a case that he had 20 years before that was basically unresolved. And it's also kind of interwoven with sort of this love that he had from afar for his superior, who was also one of his partners in kind of trying to solve this mystery, a female that worked in the office. He was kind of like, had a thing for her, kind of looked at her from afar, but it was never realized. So he's kind of looking back on that as well. It's kind of like haunting him to the point where now he is feeling like, okay, I'm writing this book. I think I want to try to resolve this. I think I want to try to, now that I'm older and I'm like kind of looking back on it, I want to try to solve this thing once and for all. So it kind of bounces back and forth between the time he's writing about to give you that like context of the case that he was working on and, why it was so, terrible, and sort of this love that he almost maybe or couldn't have at the time with her. And then it's kind of cut with present day, where he's now still talking with the same woman who he still kind of has this awkward relationship with, still has these feelings for that they just haven't said. And at the time, she also sort of had these feelings, but she never said. It was just something that could never be.
Unrequited love.
See.
One of the reasons why this movie is so great, it balances this unrequited love story that feels very real and very compelling, with an incredible mystery that is also just as compelling and real. So you're kind of bouncing in between these two themes of, you know, like him and this woman who are obviously attracted, but they're trying to solve this thing together. And sometimes it's put on hold, sometimes it's not. And so you kind of have this sweetness to it, with this longingness to it, while also dealing with a pretty heinous mystery. It's not like something simple and easy. It's kind of a heinous crime, which is why it's haunted him for so long.
See, both of those aspects of it, the love and the actual mystery element, they're both done so strongly. They could be their own films themselves.
Yeah, and I
they could be their own films themselves.
Right.
If you just focused on one of those, it could have been that.
Yep.
But the execution is expertly done.
It is. It's great pacing. You're, like I said, you're bouncing between the past and the future. The acting is so good. There's even some really
that
great
guy, man.
Yeah.
I only saw it once, and it's been a couple years. I saw it through you.
Yeah.
And I remember that main dude. He was really good.
And even some of the cinematography, including one specific set piece that they do in the movie, which involves like a continuous take that starts off like as an aerial shot, takes you into a soccer stadium or a football stadium, as they would call it, that, you know, ends up in like a chase scene, that ends up in, you know, just this camera following them all the way through the stadium until it makes its way out to the field. And it's all done in one shot, and it's done in such an expert manner.
You know, there hasn't been something quite like this ever made, even in American movies. So we were in a little bit of a new territory.
It's a little tough to watch sometimes. The subject matter of it, like you said, could stand alone as its own thrilling, compelling mystery, but there's this love element that is also just tugging at you this whole time, you know? I feel like that's also very prevalent in the entire movie. The crime is in regards to a young woman that gets raped and murdered, and the husband of this woman is like out for, you know, vengeance, and he's trying to figure out who did this, and he wants to, you know, get his justice or whatever. But there's that longingness, you know, there. And there's this, you know, just this whole feeling of everyone's haunted by something. Everyone's like looking for closure on something, like, and no one's kind of getting it. And this whole movie is, are these people going to get this closure that they've been after for however many years, across the police officers and the family members? So it's just really, I don't know, I keep saying compelling. I don't know what else to say. It's gripping. It really is. The title itself, I feel like, is kind of a cool little thing. It's like baked into the plot, The Secret in Their Eyes. They refer to that often, and that's a huge theme. It's like, even when words can't be said, or things can't be said, you can tell things by a glance, by a, you know, like a looking in someone's eyes and seeing how they really feel, whether it's love or hatred. Like, there's a lot that kind of plays into, which I think is kind of a cool element. And the conclusion is excellent. It's satisfying on all fronts. Dare I say, this is a perfect movie. I honestly struggle to find flaws with this movie, and that's a bold statement, I know. When you saw it, I mean, do you feel like this is a perfect movie? Is there anything that you feel like is a little lacking?
I did pick it up. It was really cheap.
Yeah,
I remember,
nothing good has come of this. I really wish someone would pick
that's
this
the
up.
same edition. And I remember looking it up, and I was like, wow, it's only like $7. That was a great movie.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. So it's probably that same price for anybody watching.
Yeah.
But I didn't revisit it since I bought it.
You should.
Yeah, I should. I definitely should. I remember it being great.
I didn't even really mention the main female lead, who, like, there's two main leads, the man and the woman, who are kind of like caught up in this
she's
thing.
The younger.
Yeah, and she's a great counterpart to him. And there's even like a third sort of side character who's his partner, who's really just there for comedic relief. He's kind of like just makes jokes kind of the whole time, which again gives this movie a little bit of lightness that it needs, because it is very heavy, but you get a breather from it every once in a while. But when it's going full force, it's incredible movie, incredible thing to watch. So I can't recommend this movie enough. The Secret in Their Eyes.